Hello, what a wonderful Monday in Washington, D.C. It's like 59, 60 some degrees, and I'm happy. It's St. Patrick's Day. Hello, everyone. Um, Last name Ryan. I guess I got some Irish blood in me somewhere. Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. I'm so excited to see you guys. Hello, hello, hello. It's Black Business Monday. And guys, I just want to say thank you for joining in. You have made this such a wonderful, momentous occasion on Mondays where I meet you. And I'm here in Washington, not home yet, but we're having, yes, I love the Shamrock and the Green Heart. And hello, Florida. I'm in DC and just left the White House, well enough to go back to work. And we'll talk about that later. But hello, Soror. Ooh. I just want to give you guys an update before we get into the next segment of Black Business Monday. We've been doing Black Business Monday in a response to where to go when we have stores that don't like us or don't want to support us. So guess what? It's working. I talked to Candy Isley, the wife of Ron Isley, the other day, and she said, "Oh my God, we felt a hit from Black Business Monday." I want to thank you all. Thank you all. They have their brand, their American-made brand, so no tariffs. Also, Amir Horton with the timepieces. He's selling his timepieces. And, Jer Candles is sponsoring Black Business Mondays, my own candle company along with my husband. And Jer Candles, jercandles.com is sponsoring Black Business Mondays. And we thank you also for supporting us. We've had some great people on, and we're getting ready to bring on a pair of people who I think are the most amazing people. They're talking about the Strand Network. Susan Peterkin should be getting on soon, but the Strand Network. Hello, Atlanta. How are you? But we are waiting for Susan. Okay, I see Susan. Hey, Susan, where's Dr. Kindred?
I guess she's about to be on soon. She might be running in between patients.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Well, Susan, hello. Susan Peterkin is part of the Strand Network. And Susan, well, since we're waiting for Dr. Kindred, well, can you text her and tell her to jump on too? That
Sure,
might be her.
sure.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Here she is. I'm accepting
Okay.
her
All
as
right.
well.
Awesome.
All
Awesome.
right. So listen, guys, we're going to talk about the importance of hair.
Don't
There she
talk too
is.
badly about me. I was seeing a patient.
Okay.
That's what I told her.
Well,
She's
we
agreeing.
have we have people who are actively practicing trying to heal your scalp and your hair, and
Yeah.
they're Black owned business. And I'm privileged to be a patient of both, a patient and a client, whatever you want to call it. And and they've created something that is so monumental, and they're taking it around the country. It's called Strand.
Stylist training, researching, and networking with dermatologists. Strand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's an educational platform for stylists to be trained by the hair loss expert to get the right education.
Now, I'm
No gimmicks,
glad you
no
said.
devices. Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because a lot of people are going home, making these little things and swearing by them that, oh, this grew my hair in 2 days. How long does it normally take for hair to grow?
Forever. Forever. Hair
6 months?
will fall out overnight and take forever
Yeah.
to grow back in. There's certain forms of hair loss that will, snap back in like a few months,
Mhm.
but it usually, I mean, we don't even check to see how well something is working in 6 months. So yes, we just created a hair gummy to help hair
That's
grow.
right.
And some patients are reporting like a month or 2 or 3, but we're talking about significant hair growth. It
Mhm.
takes some months for that to kick in.
And, and those hair gummies, Dr. Kendra, pull up your hair gummies because you take two of those. I take those gummies.
I
And
do.
I
yeah.
do too.
Okay, there we go. And it's so interesting that as you talk about this, yes, as
That's
you
fresh.
talk about this, somebody said menopause hair loss. Oh, we getting into that. Hold on, we there. So as we take these gummies are an attempt to help people who have lost hair through some type of alopecia, some type of
Right.
any, yeah, what are the things that
So
they
me
typically
and
work
some
for?
of the other top dermatologists for hair loss created the gum. We were just frustrated with what was out
Mm-hmm.
there. So we are addressing inflammation that underlies hair loss, hormones, environmental stressors, nutritional imbalances, and just the way cells age over time.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the root causes of hair loss. Now the gummies are awesome, and then Susan has this herbal rinse. As scientific as I am, that herbal rinse is a whole lot of
Let me tell
magic.
you something. Susan didn't put a label on that rinse. And I said, girl, give it to me. She was, I bought it without her putting that thing. And see, and this, guys, this is important to talk to people who are scientifically trained. Because a lot of times people are saying, oh, I did this and it made my hair grow. And I'll send pictures to Susan. Girl, look at this. People, their scalp is raw and they're still putting chemical on. Oh, and it'll grow back. It doesn't necessarily grow back. And that's why they're doing this, to help the beauticians understand what it looks like, how to stabilize it, and how to create new growth. And see, I've been around y'all long
I'm
enough. I
so
know.
you took the words right out of my
Exactly.
mouth.
Exactly.
And that's
Yeah,
the
I,
thing.
I
We're not.
definitely saw the
Yeah.
opportunity because I'm in the office with Dr. Kindred, and being a stylist at when I first joined her over 35 years to now going on 41 years since I've been, working with Dr. Kindred. I saw how much I was learning and how much hands-on and how much information. And I just like, my colleagues would definitely could benefit from
Benefit.
such an education and understanding the truth behind hair loss, how to detect hair loss on another level. So that's why we came up with the Strand Network.
Right. And
Yeah.
instead of having the hair loss and saying, oh, well, I'll just get a wig and put some glue on or quick
Exactly.
weave, that makes it worse,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. It
Yes.
makes it worse. So we already got questions. Somebody said post a link. Dr. Kendrick, can you guys put it up there and I'll pin it. So somebody said post a link.
Somebody
Postpartum.
just did. Kelly from the hair bar just
Kelly from the
posted the
hair
link.
bar. Hold on, let me find Kelly. And I'm okay. Here we go. I found it. Thank you, Kelly from the hair bar.
Thank
I'm going
you.
to pin it. Okay. Yes, I just pinned it. You see it pinned? Okay. So someone says, has it started? Has what? Oh yes, Strand has already started. So go to this link and they will get you in. Trust me.
Okay.
They have a lot of celebrity clients, okay? I'm not gonna say their name. I met a couple of them in there, and Dr. Kendrick knows we're not gonna say anything, but they have a lot of celebrity clients. She's in the DMV. Both of them are in the DMV. Dr. Kendrick has this great, beautiful place, and Susan, as soon as you come into the lobby, Susan's off to the right. It's a wonderful place, but also that's this local place, but they're taking Strand around the country. Now
Yes.
let's get to some of the
The,
somebody said
while
post
you're
the link to the gummies. Post the link to the gummies. How do we get the
Mhm.
gummies?
Thank you, Miss Anita. So yeah, so the strength for
Thanks,
stylists,
Anita.
braiders, locticians who are interested in an intense 2-day workshop. You want to go to thestrandnetwork.org. It's in Kansas City, April 12th and 13th. So there's still enough time to get in. And that's for people who are serious about learning the real medical science behind hair loss. This is stuff that, Google won't necessarily
Yes.
tell you.
So yeah,
And
the
also
honey
wanted to add,
and rosemary.
wanted to add, April, we just recently updated our website for your consumers who want to find a Strand certified stylist who've been trained by dermatologists.
That's
So
a
they
big
can go to
deal.
the strandnetwork.org
Women
and go to the directory
strandnetwork.org. That's a big deal.
and you can find the Strand certified stylist.
Strand Network. I'm sitting up here writing
Yeah.
network.org so you can find a Strand stylist in your part of the country. They have trained a lot of people. I've watched them, and these beauticians, stylists, what have you, have been listening to them. So when they look, they'll see because there's a certain thing that they taught me. Like you could have alopecia, but it could be traction alopecia. It could be CCA. It could come from different. See,
Okay,
Dr. Kendra, I listen.
Dr. Ryan.
Yes, Dr. Ryan in the house.
Yes,
So, and Susan, let me tell you, and I watch Susan to the point where when I don't have the time or I get sick and can't get to the place, I have the products there, and Susan teaches so we can not lose what they have
Exactly.
created. So let's get into some of the questions. So guys, tell your girlfriends and tell some of your men friends to get on this because we're going to get ready to talk about this. Is one of the biggest topics
oh
that
yeah.
people talk about because hair is vanity. Okay. So, all right, if you want to become a certified strand person, a stylist through this dermatologist tested network, strandnetwork.org. Now, hair loss due to medication, hair loss due to blood pressure and cholesterol medication. Let's talk about that.
The answer is it's usually not. So I'm one of the nerds, and you know this, both of you know this. I biopsy just about
Yeah.
everyone because a lot of patients would have seen 2 and 3 other doctors before they got to me. So I have to get it right. And very rarely is it from a blood pressure medication. Here's what's unfair: 40% of women by the time they're 40 have some form of hair loss. Well, when does hypertension begin? Right? 50% of women by the time they're 50 have hair loss. Right? When does high blood pressure get worse? So there's certain things that just occur a different time frames, right? The weight gain and the arthritis and the hair loss. And so people think that it's the medication. It's usually not.
Hmm. Mm. Someone asked, do you need an appointment to buy the gummies?
No, no, you can go to store.kindredhairandskin.com
Spell it out.
for the
Spell
gummies.
it out. Spell it out slowly.
Okay. STORE.KINDREDHAIRANDSKIN.com. Store.kindredhairandskin.com.
Yeah. And again, Anita,
Yeah.
thank you. She said, at the Strand Network. Okay, go to the Strand Network.
Yes.
They're also there. So you can ask questions there, DM them. So one thing I like about these two ladies, these professional ladies, doctor and certified strand teacher, Susan Peterkin, they've been in this business a long time. Oh, Dorian Webb is on. Hey, Dorian. She was a lady last week, that a wonderful lady with all that beautiful jewelry. See, Dorian, I got your jewelry on. See, Dorian? Okay. So anyway, getting back to the issue at hand. So when we deal with professionals, when you go into a hair salon, they should be able to help you. Why is this happening? What is going on? And Susan is into steaming. She's into hair care with not the synthetics. She's searched all around the globe for things that really stimulate growth. And then she goes to Dr. Kindred because
Yes.
there's a thing called Lanolaw.
Lena Law.
Lenalaw,
Yes.
Lenalaw,
No, 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 no.
Lenalaw.
You've
It's
been
not.
listening, April.
LINALOOL. So, an awesome dermatologist up in Boston really answered the question. Darn, we're trying to figure out where did all this daggone hair loss come from? And we know some of it is man made. Linalool is naturally found in hundreds of plants, and linalool causes hair loss. So, as a physician, like my gummies are vegan, they're natural. So, obviously, I'm not anti natural. I'm anti toxic. I don't care if it's
Mm.
natural or not, I care if it's toxic or not. And now I consider linalool, whether it's a plant or not, to be toxic.
I was
Lavender
you
has
right said that.
linalool.
And
Orange
too
peel
much
extract.
orange peel extract and rosemary
Yes.
could do it. Too much
And
rosemary.
rosemary is an endocrine disrupting chemical, which is a whole nother conversation. So my thing is this: if you're going to treat something, if you're going to use something as a medication, if you're going to use something as a medication, treat it like a medication. Know the side effects, know the appropriate doses, etc. So in my practice, all my patients eliminate linalool from their hair and face products because it's causing hair loss.
Yeah. So I don't only go for hair, I go for skin, I go for the whole thing. So it's a good thing. And as many of you know, I lost a lot of my hair during the first Trump administration. I refused to lose it this time.
Amen.
Because that was stressful. But someone said, will the gummies cause hair growth in other areas besides the head? Menopausal women don't want to add to the facial hair struggle. That's the truth.
So I agree, but I haven't seen it in anyone yet.
No, I
Please
haven't.
don't be the
No.
exception to the rule, but I haven't seen it. in anyone yet.
Yeah.
So, what about postpartum? How do you guys deal with postpartum hair loss? And how would you teach someone in the Strand educational program how to deal with someone with postpartum hair loss? Because that's real.
It is very, very real and
Yeah.
devastating.
Yeah. Well,
So
Dr. Kendra would definitely, she's going to address and the derms are going to address the medical part, the
Mhm,
medical aspect.
mhm,
What we tend to do with as the stylists and the stylist educators, we're going to teach things like how to spot the hair loss real early, because
yeah,
we've, Anita Hill-Mose and myself, we've been trained by the derms to do that. So we're not going deep into the medical. We teach them the surface,
mhm,
but then one of the most important things that we teach is that collaboration between the client and the patient and the stylist and the derm, right? So the stylist is going to teach the client how to take care of their hair and their hair care regimen on a daily basis, right? We're going to also be the between the client, patient, and the dermatologist, because they see us more often, right?
mhm.
And we're going to teach them hair care when they come into the salon. We're going to make sure they see us at regular intervals, depending on the type of hair loss or the severity of the hair loss that they're going through. So they have regular intervals. So there's a routine, because one of the things that is overlooked is being on a regular schedule with your stylist. It doesn't have to
mhm.
be every 2 weeks. It can be once a month. It can be every 2 months. So you have to get a stylist who understands your severity, what your needs, and create a treatment plan along with the what the dermatologist is doing, that we know about. That is an individual, custom made treatment for each client patient.
And they're not against, let me say this, they are not against weaves, they're not against wigs, but they're into protective hairstyles that keep the hair, and then how to manage that with whatever you choose to do. So let's be really clear. They are not anti-wigs, not anti, any of that,
Right.
but they just want to make sure you can sustain and keep your hair if you choose to do that.
But we are
Now,
Right.
going to be very, very honest,
oh
though.
yeah, you
If
are.
you're not supposed to be in that wig, we're going to tell you no wigs. If you're not, no, yeah. But we are not anti.
And
But we're going to be very honest with you.
And
Yeah,
Susan, and one thing I've learned with Susan, Susan doesn't want to put stress on the, whose dog is that? Anyway, Susan doesn't want to put stress on an already stressed out,
exactly.
Right.
strained hair. So what she does, and like you see, all of us are women who have some kind of issue with our hair. And
Yes.
so what you see, Dr. Kindred, she's wearing a natural style. We've gotten rid of relaxers. That's a
Yeah.
big deal. Um,
Yes.
some bad relaxers. Somebody talked about that. And then what Susan will do, she'll make, and Dr. Kindred will tell you, no more relaxers, do natural. And like Susan will do a style, or teach you how to do styles that don't tug at the root so
Exactly.
much.
Hmm.
And so yeah, so that's part of the Strand philosophy and work that they do. So do you teach people in a layman's terms? Because some of this stuff like lintel law and all, it's kind of heady.
It is. And so I really spend about a good 45 minutes, and I know doctors don't spend that much time anymore. 45 minutes drawing the follicles. You're gonna learn, but I'm not gonna speak above you, right? I'm not gonna talk about telangiectasias and the thrombocytopenia, right?
And what is
It's gonna be, this is a
that?
That's
hair
something.
follicle.
You see me looking. I'm like, break it
Exactly.
down for me.
Exactly. So we're going to talk about a hair follicle, hormones, nutrition, which brush to use, what the you're going to know the name of the medication now,
Exactly.
but you're
Mhm.
also going to know what it's for and how it works, right? I'll tell you the name of the condition, but I'll also tell you the layman terms.
Yes.
The
Mhm.
understanding is very important because there's no quick fix
Mhm.
for hair loss. And so the
Um,
understanding is really important for the long game.
Yeah.
yeah, the long game. So someone said finasteride for hair loss. Doctor gave finasteride for hair loss, and she put question marks, question marks, question marks. What do you think about that?
So finasteride is a treatment, a very popular one. The brand name is called Propecia. And there's nothing wrong with taking finasteride. I just don't like to prescribe it. It can lower a patient's sex drive. And when you stop it, it doesn't necessarily come back. I personally like minoxidil pill better than finasteride, sometimes spironolactone. But we have a lot of bells and whistles in our office where we can, between PRFM and hydrodermabrasion, there's a lot of stuff we can do where we can bypass finasteride.
Yeah, sister, listen, life is worth living. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna
Right. Y'all might have to
say.
come in to get the that one shot that we do in the private places to bring it back.
No, no. I'm not.
Right. So we don't prescribe
That's
That's
finasteride.
right.
yeah. That's a whole nother thing. Someone said I learned techniques yesterday in class with Susan. Congratulations. Did you
Yay.
enjoy? Did you enjoy it? Did Susan, give you Susan will break it down and she brings all her stuff. She goes. She also listening to Dr. Kendra. She goes in the kitchen and she concocts stuff. I mean, I'm like, what is that? And I'm buying everything all the time. So, someone says, will you cover skin pigmentation? I guess
As
we'll
a
ask. What about
matter of fact, at the Strand Network, this for the first time, we are including estheticians. So yes, at
We have
the
a whole
Strand
arm.
Network for the estheticians,
Amen.
yes, we will have esthetician class. So we definitely will cover skin
Yeah.
pigmentation. Yes,
So the young woman who asked about finasteride, she said, "Sis, I'm glad you have options, sister." She said it's going in
yes,
the trash. You have options,
Oh,
sister.
I didn't mean for you to go against what your doctor
But talk to your
recommended.
yeah. But you
Yeah.
got to be yeah. But talk to but low libido is a big deal
It
for people. I mean,
is. It's important. Between
it
hair,
is.
eating,
Yes.
having a roof over your head.
And some hair and yeah, that part too.
exactly.
So let's talk about bad relaxers
Oh,
because we've had people lose hair because of bad relaxers. Someone wanted to talk about that. So tell me about a bad relaxer. How do both of you teach the stylist how to work with a bad relaxer? I'm sure you tell them to also make sure that the client sees a dermatologist in their community as well, correct?
right. Go ahead,
Definitely.
Susan. I'll follow.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm a senior licensed cosmetologist who chose only to do natural hair care, right? So usually when I'm dealing with relaxer, a client is coming to me to grow out of it, the right way, and and not doing it so it harms their hair. So I will work with the relaxer on the ends if the client is not ready to do the big chop. I will work and do gentle hairstyles and grow it out until they get to a length that they're comfortable with. And during this time, if I spot any kind of hair loss or any scalp disorders, of course, I'm going to refer them to Dr. Kindred. So it's in tandem, at the same time. And in that during that time, I'm educating the clients as
Hmm.
what they need to do at home, what products to use, how to take care of the hairstyle that they're leaving the salon with. If they get a flat twist, how to untwist it in 5 days and still have a nice twist out. How to apply the medication while you have the hairstyle that been
Right.
given by Dr. Kindred.
Hmm.
So those are the things that I'm here. That's support, giving that hairstyle. So that's why at the salon, Peter Kindred salon inside of the Kindred Hair and Skin Center, um, your hair treatment is the most important. You don't come to get your styling first. You come to get your treatment and to make sure you're doing everything that is supposed to be done by the dermatologist, and then we will talk about styling after.
Healthy
Yes,
scalp, healthy hair. Dr.
yes,
Kendrick, yeah.
Yeah. So as a physician, I feel like I can't condone relaxers. There's so many unhealthy chemicals. So while I want your hair to look fly, please look fly, you guys, but it's toxic for your overall wellness. The same way I can't condone smoking cigarettes because of all the chemicals in it. And now, honestly, certain brands of synthetic braids. There's just a lot of
Preach on that.
toxic
Yes,
stuff in it.
yes.
As a physician, I can't condone. And I don't believe in,
That's not human hair. That's not human hair, right?
right. Some brands have done right. Some have no respect for our
exactly.
lives, right? So between the relaxers, smoking, toxic synthetic braids, etc., I'm not a fan. And there's healthy alternates to relaxers. So please go those routes.
So again, we're talking to Dr. Chesahna Kindred and I mean, not doctor, but clinically certified strand teacher, uh, Susan Peterkin. For their Strand Network. They have come together after seeing so much trauma in the
Yes.
community to teach stylists across the nation about healthy scalp and hair.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, what are the good brands of synthetic
Oh,
hair?
just for the sake of time, consumerreports.org. Susan and I are in that article, and it's on synthetic braids for hair, and they list
Give
all
it
the
to me so we can
brands.
pin it.
Consumerreports.org.
And also, if you go to the Strand Network, the Strand Network IG page, there is a reel that we have where Anita Hill Moses, one of our educators who look into a lot of our ingredients, herself and at the Braiders Network, who's one of our instructors, Braider, they gave a list of, I think, of like 3 or 4 hair brands
Mhm.
that can be used that are not toxic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly what they are, but they're there.
So I'm gonna give you a little branding advice.
Mm-hmm.
That Consumer Reports article that you guys are in, you need to pin it on your IG page. And it's not just Consumer Reports, because we can go into Consumer Reports. Do you know the name of the article?
We actually have it on the IG
The
the page
Strand IG page.
Yeah, but is
network
it
page.
pinned? Okay.
So
So
I'll
okay.
definitely pin it
Yeah,
after.
give
Definitely pin it.
me the name of the article so we can so I'll know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, so just when you find it, just say the name here. So again, we're talking with two the co-founders of the strandnetwork.org. And now I'm saving this kind of for last. Sitting on top of the head due to menopause.
Uh,
Menopause. That used to be a bad word, but I've embraced it.
Yeah,
I've
I just
embraced
started
it.
getting hot
we're
flashes
learning
this
more
past
every
summer.
day.
Let me tell you something. I was so hot when I had hot flashes in perimenopause. Pause. I was driving on 29 one day. It was minus something degrees. I had on a turtleneck, a jacket, and a coat. I opened the sunroof. I was like pulling clothes off. I thought I was going to do a striptease in the minivan. I was like, Lord, I don't know what's going on. Menopause not only gives you hot flashes, it makes you grow hair in places, and then it makes that's the okay. Let me see. What is it? Dangerous.
Dangerous chemicals were detected in 100% of the braiding hair we tested.
And when was the article? What's the article date?
February 27th, 2025 by Leanne Jackson.
And you're in that article. Okay, guys. So that's the article. Somebody's laughing. They said, "Me too, child. That menopause is no joke." But let's talk about menopausal hair loss.
Okay, so the hair loss related to menopause is usually related to hormones. And as women, it's more complicated. They're supposed to have a balance between estrogen and testosterone. And truth be told, a lot of what we learned were on men. And the FDA, the NIH was just getting into really deeply learning about the woman's body before the funding got pulled. But what we know of it so far is that when you go through menopause, there's a loss of estrogen. And so it's almost the same as having too much testosterone. And again, it's more complicated than that. And what testosterone does to the follicles in men and women, it goes to the follicle and it shrinks it, right? So that miniaturized follicle is going to make a miniaturized hair. To you, you're going to feel early on like your ponytail is not as full as it used to be. You'll feel like it's not growing as fast, not growing as long. Then you end up with little vellus hairs like fuzz, if you will. And then you just lose that hair. And then you feel like your part is getting wider or your hair line is starting to recede, etc. So we want to catch it early.
Yes.
The Extrese gummies, platelet-rich fiber matrix. There's a lot of ways to be preventative, but once you're in menopause, see a dermatologist so we can figure out what's the best scenario. Sometimes it's prescription medication, but you don't want to wait until you need a hair transplantation.
Exactly.
That's what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So let me say this. So I learned this from Dr. Kindred too. Watching her, I don't think they know that I watch them like when they do little things. So you don't notice that you're losing your hair until you lost about 50% of it when it starts growing.
Yes.
See, I can get up on the
Okay, Dr.
strand.
Ryan.
I can get on the strand network too. I can be.
This is
I
this is the
can,
reason why. This is the reason why from learning from Dr. Kendra and other derms, I came up with this class or educational tool called Check Your Center Part, where,
Mm.
and I've done it with you, April. Remember when I'm taking the photos each time? Yep,
Yes,
taking the
because
photos.
I
And
tell, and
so
it's
we're creating that
yeah.
baseline. So it's, it's for anyone can learn how to check your baseline. Yeah.
Yeah, so so when I go to Susan, because I'm always, am I getting better? Am I getting worse? Da, da, da. And I got better, and then we had a little setback, but and they charted, and Dr. Kindred, I'll send Dr. Kindred the pictures. She said, well, this is what we need to do. So they take it as an academic approach, but also to make sure that we are still moving in the right direction. They're
Yeah.
always assessing, and they work together. And this is what they're trying to do with this strand network, to
Yes.
get stylists to work with this knowledge that everything is not just a cover up with a wig and some wig glue, because it'll exacerbate the situation, but it's meant to help you sustain and keep what you need, because some people still want their hair to maybe have a little leave out. They want some edges, because a lot of women lose edges too.
Yes.
So so check your part. How wide is that part?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Because and it's guys, on IG, it's called at the Strand Network. So if you want to get them on IG, at the Strand Network. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Well,
I go ahead, Susan.
no, I'm just going to say the next strand class will be April 12th and 13th, will be in Kansas City, Missouri, and we are partnering with Docs for Hair. That's a course for doctors, and so we'll be there. Stylists and esthetician will be there with dermatologists, learning about hair loss, and that's when the stylist can become strand certified after this intense 2-day course.
Mhm.
And the great thing about it is called the Strand Network. That means once you're done, we just don't leave you alone. You're within a network. There's an app that you can communicate with the dermatologist. Yep. So you're a part of that, and you have access. And another thing that Dr. Kindred has made sure that she created was the dermatologists within the network. They reserve a couple of spaces a month for the stylists to send their clients to.
And
So
see,
it's a network. We're consistently learning.
that's the big deal, because right now there is a shortage of doctors in
Yes.
medicine, guys. There's a shortage. I know this from doing my news every day. And then for this pair to be able to cut down all of that struggle to find a good doctor, and to help you with a stylist and you are cutting out a lot of the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and I really like this. That's why we have them on Black Business Monday, because I want to highlight some of the greatness that I know about and that I see around the country. Someone said, can either of you recommend a good dermatologist in Philadelphia, PA, who deals with black skin, moles in particular?
Yep. You have Susan Taylor, Dr. Susan Taylor, at Penn State.
There you go, Dr. Susan Taylor at Penn
Right
State.
there.
Dr. Susan Taylor at Penn State. Dr. Susan Taylor at Penn State in Philadelphia. And if you don't call her, that's your fault, because you got it right from the doctor. Okay. So I want to know that you called. Okay. Now, someone said, is tea tree oil okay to detoxify the scalp? Wait a minute. Hold on. Tea tree oil cannot be concentrated. You got to break it up. Right. Oh, Dr. Kindred is like,
Take
okay. Talk to she
a
closed
deep
her
breath, Dr.
eyes.
I
K.
know.
Take a
Yeah.
deep
If
breath.
you're going to use it like a medication, treat it like it. So, tea tree oil is an endocrine disrupting chemical, which that's a whole nother conversation. Look up EDCs. So you don't want it really absorbing a lot into your scalp. It kills fungus, it kills yeast, all kinds of stuff. It's not something you want to use on a regular basis. And Dr. Ryan already pointed out that you can get a contact dermatitis and
Yes.
it can burn your skin if it's not at
Yes.
the right dose.
Y'all taught me well. So listen, my agent Tracy, my agent, my friend, my soror, that's my ride or die. We just had the conversation on. I told her, because we all we love braids. The kids love braids.
Of course.
For the summer
Low
especially.
maintenance,
I
easy.
Yep.
s-
Love my
right,
Hmm.
brain.
right. I sent her the thing. I said, "Girl," and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" So she was hovering over the stylist. They made sure, because sometimes that fake hair, that not the human hair, that's
Mhm.
kind of a better filler. But she was over top of the style. No, we using human hair now, and we have to change. So
We
it's
do.
not. Yes, because like you say, the carcinogens, they're not friendly to us.
We have to
Um,
demand that they make safe, excellent products
And
for
let me
us.
also
Yeah.
point out from a stylist perspective,
I'm also
right?
using
Hmm.
It's not even the use of the synthetic hair. It's what some of the braider stylists do on top of it. And then the ones who are strand certified know not to. And that's the reason why my hair is not affected by the braids, because my stylist does not put gel on my scalp when she braids. She does not use the foam on my scalp, because then you're wetting down the synthetic hair with the foam,
with
and
alcohol
that's
and all that stuff.
alcohol,
Yeah,
and that's extra, because a lot of those foams and gels are toxic.
and
So
they
we're sort
react
of
to the
using the toxic
toxicity
hair on
already.
top of, yes. So it's the things that we do to exacerbate the issue, the
Which
problem.
is unfair, because how about they just make it where it's not toxic in the first place?
Exactly.
And that way we
Exactly.
can go on about our business. But since they make it so toxic, it makes us vulnerable to some of those effects.
Exactly.
Someone just said Strand 412 and 413, Kansas City, Missouri. So I guess you got somebody joining. That's right.
Yay.
Um, Someone said good dermatologist in San Diego, California. Who's there?
That would be Dr. Laura Scott.
Dr. Laura Scott in San Diego. Dr. Laura Scott. Don't say we didn't tell you. All right. I'm having that issue with the hair part. My hair is long and I noticed thinning. It says thinking, but thinning. We know. I need to make an appointment with a dermatologist, DC area. Thank you.
It's a free
Hello.
try
It's
in DC.
who?
That DC traffic make DC long distance.
But
So
no,
Mary,
it's not. I drive it every day. Let me tell you. So Dr. Kindred is in Marriottsville, Maryland, not far from DC. Okay. But so, I mean, you're close enough to get to her.
that's
So, and well, I mean, but if you want to recommend somebody in DC, you can. But I'm just saying. So, you might see me there, but I'll keep my head down. I'm like, who are you? You don't know me. I'm not that woman. Anyway. All right. Someone said a black dermatologist in Ocala, Florida.
and where?
Ocala, Florida. Ocala.
You got to tell me a
Ocala.
bigger city. I might know one. I just don't know that they're there. I need another major city. Sorry.
All right. So we've talked about hair thing. I guess we're gonna come back. Testimony Friday with D Nicole. Hair thinning. What specifically do you want with hair thinning? But either way, what talk to us because we talked about hair thinning. What do you think with hair thinning? What do you think? How should we attack it at the initial
Ah,
stage?
our
Oh,
approach.
okay.
Got you. So what I would want is, since everyone goes to their stylist first when they know they're having something, it's not just right. The stylists know how to triage, right? They know exactly which direction to go. If you think it's thin and you're not sure, Susan already told you, part the hair down the center, you're looking to see if it goes wide. You can get the extra say gummies. Don't jump straight to minoxidil, in my opinion. For the over the counter one, it has a high alcohol content. And for a lot of blacks, they think it doesn't work, but it's because the alcohol is breaking the hair off
Mm,
Yeah.
faster than a minoxidil can grow it sometimes. So I do recommend see a dermatologist, get your diagnosis, right? Is it hormonal, inflammatory, a stressor, etc.? Meaning, is it androgenetic alopecia, FFA, LPP, CCCA? There's like 15 forms of hair loss. Start on the right foot, and then that dermatologist will then tell you exactly what to do. You might have to wait to see the dermatologist, right? But at least you're moving forward a part of that long game of having a good treatment.
And please beware of a stylist who's going to give you a treatment within that initial state
Mm-hmm.
and not refer you to a dermatologist.
So, okay, so here's what I'm going to do, guys. After this, we're going to wrap it up because now you guys are getting into getting into some good stuff. But the person who came back, she says Ocala is south of Gainesville, Florida, off of 75. She is
She's
serious. She wants
breaking it
specifics.
down.
Okay.
She's yes.
All right, sis. Ain't nobody over there. Ain't
Oh,
nobody. There's nobody. So
Might have to
you're
do a little bit of
you
traveling.
will have to travel. Before we get off, I will have an answer for you.
All right. So Gainesville, someone, do you have someone in Tallahassee? They said thank you. Someone in Tallahassee, someone in Queens, New York, and somebody said I'm looking for a hood doctor. No, you mean a
No,
good
you're
doctor,
not.
not a hood doctor. They said I need a hood doctor. And we need one in Tallahassee, Queens, and Indianapolis. I'm like, come on,
Chama
guys.
Ase Tutu in Manhattan. It's all New York to me, so forgive me if it's not Queens.
Brooklyn and Manhattan,
Chris
Brooklyn.
Say it, wait,
Obimi.
wait, wait, say it again
Oh,
because
I'm sorry.
my children keep calling while I'm doing the Zoom. They don't
Uh,
realize that mommy's doing something and they call. So what did you say? Tallahassee,
okay,
what's the name
okay.
of
In New York is Achama Ase Tutu, OSEI hyphen TUTU. She's awesome. In Indianapolis, I think that's what they're saying. It's Dr. Obimi, Chris Obimi, OBINEME. I think that's close enough.
In Tallahassee?
And Florida boy, you would think there's more. There's Orlando, there's Jacksonville, and there's Miami. That's all I have.
Okay.
Go to Docs for Hair.
Yeah.
Docs for Hair, Docs, DOCS, the number 4, hair, HAIR. There's an Instagram page and there's a website. And there's a directory of doctors that specialize in hair loss. And it was actually created by Dr. Chamase Tutu and also co-run by Dr. Mina Singh out of Kansas City.
Okay. So Pebby NAJ says, "Are you in Marriottsville near Owings Mills,
Yeah,
Maryland?" Yes, she
in
is.
Marysville. Yeah.
Marriottsville, that's more so near Randallstown, I guess. I don't know. But yes, she is. Yes, she is. So she's close. But you got to get on her calendar. And she is, and she accepts insurance. And Susan,
I do.
and what's interesting, and I'm going to say this. So again, they're not afraid of wigs. They're not afraid of weaves. It's just the natural hair, real hair, right? It's got to be a certain kind of hair. But they also, I do know this, for women who are having serious issues and their insurance pays for it, they take insurance for wigs, that they have people to make the wigs. So
Right. We
there you go.
literally have a wig maker that comes to the office and helps. We're not against it, we're just against anything unhealthy.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
part. So is
Yeah.
there anything you guys, because I'm not taking any more
Yes.
questions about who's where. We're
Yes.
talking about the Strand Network. This is about making sure that stylists know that there's help out there to
Yeah.
help them with their clients. And they're traveling all around the country with this impressive tutorial that's needed, because one of the first things we will pay for hair before we pay for rent,
Yeah.
right? So we got to really start thinking, if we're doing all of that, let's try to maintain and do something with what's natural, what God gave us, before we go to the other stuff. So I want to thank you guys. So Susan, do you have anything you want to add?
I no, just check out the Strand Network. That if you're a professional, check out the strandnetwork.org. And if you are a consumer and you need some question answered, you can always book a consultation with me at Peter Kindred, the salon, and that's at Peter Kindred. And we can do a consultation, and we'll let you know and try to guide you into an appointment with Dr. Kindred.
And Dr.
Uh,
Kendrick.
yeah. Well, if you do have an appointment with me, please know you want the holistic hair loss
Yes.
consultation, not a standard. Don't say we
Holistic.
didn't warn you.
Call for
Holistic.
the holistic orientation.
Right. That way we're talking about diet, hair products, everything. But for stylists, really, if you're serious about learning from the dermatologist that actually named the disease, discovered the disease, figured out the genes, like the real science behind it, and just education, we're not selling anything extra, then you want to take part in the course next month.
Okay, someone said once again I meant good, not hood. I got you,
That was
sis.
funny
It
nonetheless.
was, it was. You gave
It was
us some
hilarious.
levity today. Someone said, "Can you please save this live?" I'm going to save this live. I save all of them. I mean, this is that important, and this is that important because we are at a time where people are not telling us what's up, and we consume hair, whether it's real hair or whether it's that synthetic hair. and we consume it to our detriment, it seems, at
Mhm.
this point, instead of really concentrating on working on what God gave us.
Right.
And, I sent pictures to Susan. Look at how raw the skin is, just for the sake of keeping up appearances. You know, we're in a different day, guys, and
Right.
that's one of the reasons why we have Black Business Monday. It's not just this business, but they are pouring out into other businesses to make sure that they are aware to be able to help you and your hair all across the country. Dr.
Amen.
Chesahna Kindred, Susan Peterkin, the co-founders of the Strand Network, strandnetwork.org. Okay, go there. Also DM them at on IG, the Strand Network.
Yes.
Ask them all that
Yeah.
stuff. Ask
Yeah.
them all that stuff. Because I'm telling you, I mean, y'all, because people are still talking. They will take your questions. They're good people. I'm
Thank you.
telling you, they're good people. I can't explain. My kids, my husband, we all go. And they're shocked that I know as much as I do. I watch. I talk a lot, but I watch. And it's good to be able to be educated on yourself by someone who is a master educator, someone who's gotten her doctorate degree, her medical doctorate degree, and still studying
Absolutely.
about us and
Always.
black and understands black skin and black hair. That's a whole nother thing. So thank you guys. I'm glad you appreciate it. So again, this was another episode of Black Business Monday brought to you by Jer Candles. JareCandles.com. So with that said, ladies, thank you so much. I know y'all are working. I stopped y'all in the middle. Dr. Kendra jumped on the call after she was working. She said, I know you talking about me. She had a client, but she jumped on. But
Yes, yes.
thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you,
I'm
April.
saving this.
Thank
Appreciate you.
I
Thank you.
appreciate
you.
you guys more. I'm saving this. This will be up immediately. So we're gonna cut little segments out of it. And you'll see, but I'm telling you, go on DM. They're willing to
Yeah.
talk. And for all you stylists, don't be afraid. Talk to them. This is what they're here for. So all right, I'm in DC. I want to go home. But I thank you guys, and I'll see you
Okay.
next
Have a good day.
Monday. Yes, Black Business Monday brought to you by Jer Candles, JerCandles.com. They smell so
They do.
good. I'm telling you, they do.
Yeah.
They really do.
All right.
Bye,
Bye
everybody.
bye.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.